offensive line.
Yeah, and last week we said that the game against Paoli was going to be won in the trenches with that offensive and defensive line, and tonight it's going to be the same thing. If that defensive and offensive line can control the line of scrimmage, the defense push back into the Thunderbirds' backfield, and the offense push forward, makes that running game work a whole lot better. When your first hit is coming on a linebacker instead of on a lineman.
And, Joe Cooch and the Thunderbirds here are going to give their best effort. They're not coming in. They're a team who are excited. We saw them go through their pregame warm-ups here. They seem like they got a couple injuries. I was marking guys off of the roster here. But, hey, they're at home. They've got the advantage here. They know how to play on this field. They know what it's like. We are staring at the sun if you were watching live, and we're hoping that's going to go down. It's reminiscent of they're going to be staring at it. It's reminiscent of the old Mr. Akers was telling me of how Art Sanders Field was once set up.
Correct. That's how Art Sanders was set up. The home team was on the other side looking into the sun, and then when they redid it, it flipped it around, and now the home team has their back to the sun. Here, home team looking into it, and the Senator fans over on the far side that you can see over there, they're nice and not looking into the sun. They've got it at their back.
So we'll take that, and we'll have hopefully it'll set where it'll be a beautiful night here. I think we've got, another great week of weather for high school football.
Yeah, tonight you couldn't ask for better weather. When I got out of the car here, it was 71 degrees. Supposed to drop into the mid 60s, maybe even high 50s. By the time the game is over. So great night for for some high school football, not college football, but high school football.
This is a high level of football that we're going to see tonight. And I tell you what, I can't wait to see these white jerseys with the gold numbers on them.
Yeah.
Gray helmets, which the Eastern Green announcer has already commented on how hard that's going to be to spot.
Yeah.
So
it's nice that we're the team that's used to it. We know the players. We can pretty much pick them out just by standing there. They don't even have to have numbers on. But it is a new look for the Senators tonight with their all white pants, white jersey. With the numerals and Senators on the front of those. So new look for them, looking good. Let's see if they can play as good as they look.
So I believe we're going to go to the interview with Coach Mark Gibson. We got to talk to him. You guys are going to really enjoy this because he talks about all the planning. They have been out at school since like 8 o'clock this morning, getting stuff ready just to come up here, because they left school at 2:30. So we're going to go to that, and then we'll be coming back. We might hit up some commercials after that to kind of help some of our sponsors out. If you are one of our great sponsors, we thank you a lot. We'll go through you throughout the whole night tonight. I do know Lincks Clothing is having a fundraiser going on right now. So if you do give them a call, get a sweatshirt, and I believe they'll get it to you by the Salem game, right?
I believe that's what I saw. Fundraiser for the football team, get your sweatshirt, and it's supposed to be to you by the Salem game so that everybody can wear those at the Salem game.
So we're going to head over to the interview with Coach Mark Gibson. Thank you guys so much for listening to WW Livestream. Welcome to West Washington Livestream. I'm Brad Mills, and I'm here with defensive coordinator for the West Washington Senators, Mark Gibby Gibson. Gibby, we're coming off a big win against Paoli. Thoughts about that win and some great things that we saw?
Well, obviously coming off, PLAC win against a good program like Paoli, we're definitely pleased with the way we played. Obviously coming out with 43-0 win, a lot of people played well. And again, it starts up front. Our offensive line and defensive lines were, the head of the tip of the spear, as we say, and they got the job done all night. Defensively, obviously when you face an option team like that, even though they were down a couple guys, missing their starting cue, hurt the option a little bit, but you still have to defend it. And our guys up front did a really nice job, especially Bryce Brown, Michael Leach. They just ate up guys, played two gap the whole night and did a wonderful job on the fullback. And then our ends, Jake Strange and Landon Pearson did a nice job keeping the queue contained as well. And then they come throw some rocket sweeps, and we play pretty physically on the perimeter as well.
And Jake really opening up some holes there for the run game. A lot of those big, yardage plays you're not used to seeing against a quality team like Paoli. But, they were down with they had some circumstances against them. But, I thought Little was still a good quarterback there. I didn't realize he was playing out of position. They said he was a wide receiver before, but definitely some good athletes out there for him. The Livingston kid had a lot of speed for him. And I know the hit of the night for defense was definitely Lee Roper McFeeters on that shot.
Yeah, they were, that's first possession. They'd actually got a couple first downs, hit a pass play, got them down into the deep red zone, about the 9 or 10 yard line. I thought rocket sweep was coming, so we sent a little corner blitz. And obviously it's fun when those things get home, but, they have to make sure they do their jobs. They have to execute that blitz perfectly, and that time he did, and he walloped the guy, and he just got hit of the week for us, and really changed the momentum. They had a little bit of momentum going, had a few first downs going in to score, and he comes up with a big negative play, like big hit like that, and that gets him thinking a little bit. So yeah, Roper had a really nice night defensively.
And then you had the ability to refocus there because they go to pass. I said they're going pass because we were hyped up. The defense was hyped up, and I'm like, it's not over yet. And so they go to that pass play. So defense holds for us, thankfully. And then number 2 there comes through with a pick later on. He shot out of a cannon twice in that game, once on that last run and then on that pick, but he didn't drop the one this week. So we talked about the secondary being something we were working on. Were you happy with the results you saw this week?
Yeah, very happy. I mean, these guys showed 5 wide against Perry and actually moved the ball up and down the field a couple possessions against Perry in the second half. They couldn't get in the end zone, but they did show a proficiency to throw the ball, even, and that was little as well. I was kind of afraid of his arm a little bit, but our guys up front, again, put a lot of pressure on him, keeping in the pass rush lane so he couldn't scramble, and our guys in the back end did a really nice job. We've been really close through the first 4 weeks of picking one, and those guys, anybody back there, if they can catch, we dropped a couple against Valley. If they do catch it, they are very capable of taking it to house, and Holden did. And that's kind of why Holden's in our center field. He kind of keeps teams from at least thinking about not throwing to the middle of the field, because he can come up with a pick 6 at any time.
He's that definition of safety to the T there, the safety pin back there holding them. We look at the travel this week. That's probably one of the bigger things. North Central's up and down. They're having some issues this year, but they're still playing some good teams up there. North Knox, I noticed on the schedule. So, and then we have to also take into consideration that long ride for us, but this is a ride we might have to make during sectional. Can you talk about how the team's preparing for that and what we expect to see up there?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. We've played one game on the road, and that was Valleys. That's not too bad of a drive. So this will be one where we got to make sure, and we're not gonna, it's not gonna be helmets on, mouthpieces in that whole drive. It's gonna be two hours and 2.5 on a bus. So it's one of those situations you can't get on there, and as soon as we leave, the parking lot out here, you can't just be adrenaline flowing, just thinking about the whole time. You got plenty of time to relax, and then once you're getting close to Farmersburg, then you start, amping up a little bit, start mentally preparing. But we're not asking them to just sit there and think about it the whole time. We put together some scout packets, and they can kind of look through them as on the drive. But mostly, we want them to enjoy the ride. You're going to have plenty of room. You can stretch out a little bit. So we'll see. That is, we got a couple of drives in sectional that we may have to make, and hopefully regional, semi-state if we have to make those drives. So we have to prepare for it. North Central has played some great teams. Park Heritage, which is ranked above us, I think, in 1A. South Vermilion's ranked in 2A, and then North Knox is a great football program. Those are the 3 teams they played. So, they've seen some really good competition, so we're going to have to go up there and play.
And they're a rebuilding program, of course, a lot similar to us. When you look at, they had their big success, 2 years ago in the sectional championship game of beating us, and they had a great team then, winning their first sectional ever. Right. And then they turned around last year, and we're kind of rebuilding. I know Coach Brad Hudson up there, through some trainings I've been with, that he talks about it's a process, and trying to, right where they are at is there's a little hotbed of 1A football there. So, and then if you go up and play a 2 or 3A, they're pretty good too. So
Southwest 7 has always been they were in that with Linton and North Davies and North Knox. So that's some good football up there. So yeah, he's playing some young guys right now, and but we can't worry about, just like last week, we can't worry about who's on that other side. We have to do our jobs, play physically. Knock on wood, through 4 weeks, we've played really physical football. We're going to go up there and do the same.
And, playing some young guys, Grayson McCoy, we'd bring up, played a lot in that game against Paoli, but the young guys for us, move on to an undefeated record on the JV there,
Yes.
Last night with a great conference win at Mitchell, finding every which way to score there, it looked like, with a big win.
Right.
So continue, always like to give them a shout out during this time.
Absolutely.
So that we know.
There's some guys playing really well on the JV. And a guy we moved just a couple weeks ago, because Grayson has played some time on Friday nights. Brennan Emery, they said, came in and last night really did a nice job at running back. And Ethan Roberts has been a monster and running the ball for him so far through half of the JV season.
And he almost broke one on Friday against Paoli there towards the end. We were trying to run out the clock and get a guy carries. He's like, hey, I want to get in the end zone.
Yeah, just like he did the week before. I mean, he ran real well against Valley, came in the fourth quarter Friday night and ran well. He's got varsity talent. He's just, when you got Bobby Stevens and you got Roper, McFeeters, Holden Bousman running the ball, I mean, you have to be patient. You'll get your opportunities, and when you do, you have to make the most of them. But, the younger guys, again, going back to that point, have done a really nice job. And Coach Dwayne Nance, Coach Patrick Burks have done a nice job with them. And we're getting a little bit of time on the practice field, which, at a 1A school is tough to do. It's tough to get those guys reps and be ready to play, because most of the time they're spent going against our varsity because of numbers. But we're doing a nice job of getting them prepared, and they're going out and they have great attitudes, and it's winning's always fun, so that helps, and they're doing a really nice job.
And we talked about, you see those guys on those Friday nights and those, clean jerseys, always say, getting those shots in on special teams. It's just something that we really want to, I know that we saw some speed from Pele last week, so there's definitely, I know, some retooling. Probably if we're looking at anything from last week, it's probably to retool some of those maybe positions or how we're attacking, because we will see some teams with some speed there, as we get to the Perry Centrals of the world and, the North Davies of the world down the road. So, any extra reps this week on special teams?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was one thing, and we talked about it on the sideline during the game. After watching film, they had a couple of kickoff returns against us, and they never did house one, but they put them in good field position, just like Valley had one. And it's not a situation where the right guys aren't on it. After watching film, we're getting down there. Jake kicked real well. We're getting down there, but when it comes to lane integrity, you have to stay in your lanes on kickoff. And maybe it's a situation where they're trying to do too much. They get out of the lane. They want to make that tackle so much, but you have to stay in your lanes. And definitely, we talked about that at our coaches meet, and we'll work it again today and tomorrow.
Yeah, it's always, if you look, the three parts of the game, special teams there we look at, and, it's something that, that starting field position is always huge, and I know as a defensive coach, you want to see them pushed as far back as you can.
Absolutely. That's huge. And that's people, it's, the kicking game is very important. I mean, all special teams, it's just as important, because you can go out and have a great drive offensively, and then, score a touchdown. But if you give up a kickoff return right away, then the momentum's gone. Same way, if you 3 and out a team defensively, and then they get a fake punt on you or something, your special teams has to be there, because it's definitely a momentum shifter one way or the other when a big play happens on special teams. So you have to work it, and we have been working, and I think they have been pretty good at times. But again, like I said, we have some young guys on there. We're making an effort to put young guys on there.
It gives your starters a big break, which is what we need, and it's a good thing to have. I noticed on the defensive line, Andrew Lewis was able to rotate in, Michael Leach able to rotate in and out. I know Big Mike was on the third and longs. It was always funny. I was like, there goes Big Mike off, and then we throw an extra backer in there with Thompson, I believe. So it definitely sees, like, the run stop. I don't know how many yards Paley gained on the ground, but Rominger's going to be a great player there for him. He is. I did not realize he was a freshman until he got started. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with in future years.
A thorn in our side is what we say. He's going to be a thorn in our side for the next 3 years after this. But we did a nice job. I mean, they ended up with, I don't know, I'd have to go back to the stats, 150 or something. More than we gave up against Valley. But I think their scheme allowed them to do that. We gave up a run or two, but again, we held their explosive plays down. We made them earn it, and that's the kind of defense we play here. I mean, we've never been that team that's just gonna totally shut a team down. I mean, we the way we play.
Sometimes you score too fast for your defense to get a break.
Right, and we do have a lot of guys going both ways. It's great when you can 3 and out a team every single time, but realistically, I mean, they get to make plays too. So we don't get. And we talk about it every week, and before we do our pursuit drill, before we go into the locker room, before the game, we talk about it. Refocus after every play. They get to make plays too. They're going to have a play, but you have to reset, refocus, and we do a great job, and we have here for making a team, earn everything they get, protect. We talk about it a lot. Protect every blade of grass, make them earn it. And high school teams, a lot of times, if you make them earn it, will make a mistake, whether it's a penalty or an incompletion, or an interception, fumble. If you make them go 70 yards every single time, you're probably gonna be pretty happy at the end of the game, because especially like ours, one of our big goals is explosive plays. To give up, you only get 1 a quarter, and that's, like I said, if you make them get 4 or have 4 or less explosive plays, you're pretty good.
So you get a big stop on 4th down as a defensive coach or something, and then your offense scores on the first play.
Right.
Does that hype the guys up? Are they hyped up because the score? You're like, or you yourself? You're like, oh my gosh, now we got to go right back out here and try to do this again.
No, you're kind of like, oh boy, here we go again. But no, we're never disappointed with putting points on the board. So if it's a 1-play drive, our guys have to be mentally prepared to, we call them sudden changes. You have to get a sudden change stop. You have to get a sudden change score. And that could be after a fumble or an interception. It could be a turnover, or a sudden change is also a 1, 2, 3 play drive. Yeah. You have to be able to go out there, and if you can, you get that sudden change, whether it's a turnover or a quick score. If you get that stop right after it, that's a big momentum play too. And as you know, sports at any level, especially high school, has a lot to do with momentum, and slamming momentum is just as important. So yeah, we talk about it, and there's times we work it in practice that, okay, sudden change, now we got to get a stop, especially we unfortunately, I think Coach Russell jinxed us. He talked about not having a varsity turnover yet before last week.
And then we had that with Ken trying to, on a great play, but just a freshman who was a little undersized there.
Yeah.
And then it just sailed just a little bit, probably, and Holden wishes he had that one back. But, I was thinking if you had somebody a little taller, maybe it'll reach over. But, hey, I love the play call there, because it was a great call on the outside.
Yeah. And we're trying to hit Jake. No, you're right. It was Kenton. Trying to hit him on a wheel, and Holden just kind of, with a little air under it and kind of underthrew it. But with more experience, Kenton probably turns into a defensive player and knocks it down. But going back to our point, we turned it over there. Now we needed a sudden change stop, and we 3 and outed them. I think, if I remember right, they ended up having to punt from their own red zone, which gave us good field position.
Yeah, and that's what anytime they're punting inside of their own 20 there, it's always going to be a good result for us, even though we see that. So as we go up here with North Central, what do you see really being able to attack them with, either offensive or defensive? What's some schemes that we should see for you guys this week?
Offensively, I wouldn't think there'd be a whole lot of change.
If it's not fixed, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So
we're averaging, 375 yards rushing a game, so we're going to make them, stop the run, and we're more than capable. We're still averaging almost 100 yards passing a game. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to change a whole lot. Offensively. Defensively, they run a lot of unbalanced stuff, so we may have to shift around a little bit. They run a lot of, some unbalanced wishbone stuff. It's not really triple option or anything like that, but they do throw a little speed option look at you. So we're going to have to play our responsibilities, and the biggest thing, like always, is playing physical up front. And we got to make sure, when they go into the wishbone, they do, ISO, double ISO, stuff like that. So our guys up front are going to have to play with hands, and they're going to have to play physically.
Well, on the long trip, time change, everything that we'll have against us there's a lot that we look for. Last year it started off kind of slow against these guys, but it did turn out pretty good. I think the weather was also kind of a bugaboo last year. I think it was kind of drizzly and rain.
Yeah, it was a little misty.
And I remember we gave I think we had to score 3 times on the first drive. We had like 3 straight penalties or something on scoring plays, and then we finally got one that actually counted in there. I was standing in the end zone trying to catch that. But you get up there, hopefully you start off quick, and there's some things we keep seeing. I think one thing that the fans that are watching, we're seeing this improvement each week out of so many players, and how we are getting stronger each week, which is really good. So we're going to leave that here. For Coach Gibby, myself, this is Brad Mills. You're listening to West Washington live stream on WWSR, the official home of West Washington football.
With all the financial headlines, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs are keeping you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Your Edward Jones financial advisor, Ryan Kemp, can help you. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, you can work together to help ensure you are prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. For more information, please call Ryan Kemp at 812-620-5604. Edward Jones, Marketing Sense and Investing, member SIPC. Back to live action here at North Central Farmersburg, where the Senators are taking on those Thunderbirds of North Central. We're approximately, 5 minutes away from the national anthem, 10 minutes away from kickoff. Both teams have left the field.
We're staring at the sun here.
We're staring at the sun, and those of you at home, we are sending this out via hotspot, so it may be a little choppy, but should still get out. Also, you can listen to it on WWSR, the school radio station there. If you go to your Apple device through the App Store or through the Google Play Store or even on Alexa. I heard it was working on Alexa this morning.
So you can say, Alexa, play WWSR?
Yeah, and it'll play it. So those are ways you can listen. You can definitely watch it through the IHSAA at www.ihsaatv.org/West Washington HS.
And the people here in the booth have told us that sun is going to go down behind those trees there in just a few minutes before we start. So we will be setting pretty. It is already cooled off. It feels like about 5 or 6 degrees.
Yeah, definitely a beautiful night for some high school football.
And great team. We've talked about the Thunderbirds have gone through a lot. We found out they had a coaching change on Monday. Their head coaching change, and hopefully, you see a new crew, maybe a new voice here coming through, and so that you hope can be seen. They've got some people that are going to be playing out of position here. They got some younger guys that are having to step up. I looked real quick, and they've said that their senior quarterback, Kobe Brewer, out with an ACL injury after the first game of the season.
Yep.
Nobody ever wants to see that. And including one of their best running backs there, another senior, out with an knee, Jaden Coden. So it's going to be Trench or James Trench at quarterback. Nathan Trench, at quarterback. Or Lane Hargis there at quarterback. So we'll see somebody different back there. And I'm willing to bet if you're a quarterback, you got a chance, you're licking your chops thinking about our secondary, thinking you can throw it against them.
Right.
So
that's been the Achilles heel of the Senators this year, is that secondary and their play being able to stop the pass. Of course, they've seen more passes because they've been ahead and out in front of teams. So, they've seen more passes than what they normally would have. But
it's kind of like a good defense in the NFL that, is always ahead. They're going to see those teams trying to get back in a hurry by throwing a lot. And it's like how I try to draft fantasy players as guys who I know they're going to be down in the fourth quarter having to make a lot of passes. So we'll see that. And, we know the three horsemen back there are going to be taking on the load there, trying to McFeeters and Stevens and Bousman are going to try to do their best to light up this field here, and we will see what will happen. It's a beautiful night, like we said. We're going to have a lot of football action here. We're thankful to be playing as we are every week. This series is actually 1-1 all time, I guess, and
It's one of those that's a new pickup, but it seems like a team that we've played a lot, even though we've only played twice.
Yeah, 14-0 loss at West Washington for the Senators in the sectional championship game 2 years ago. And last year, I hope it's more like last year, a 50-0 win at West Washington there. So we'll see what happens here as we're going to be going. We heard from Coach Gibby, and let me ask you there, Mr. Akers, you get a long trip, and you've traveled a lot with softball and stuff, being a softball dad.
Yeah.
Is it hard to get the kids focused when you travel a long ways?
It is, but it comes with you're able to get them focused more the more experience that you have, and that's one thing that this Senator group does have. With their 12 seniors, they are experienced.
And we'll see that. Hey, and if you're at home watching or you're listening right now, do us a favor on your social media account. Use the hashtag Senators versus T-Birds for us, and you might pop up here on this, and we'll try to.
Yeah. That's the hashtag we're pulling. So if you're pulling if you tweet something or send it out, then definitely use that hashtag.
And the Thunderbirds of North Central got a band going, so they're gonna have a nice little pep band. Even social distancing, the pep band, they got them down in the end zone there, just out of view of ours. Past that road we didn't know that led right up here.
Yep. Those of you that have not been to North Central Farmersburg, beautiful drive over.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful country, a lot like Campbellsburg and Washington County.
And it comes right off of Highway 41. You turn off of 41, and right there's a school. So
I've hit my bucket list of a lot of towns in Indiana tonight. So. And I could go a little further and go up to Terre Haute if I really wanted to. But who would want to go to Terre Haute? That's all I'm going to ask. Nobody. The people in here are shaking their head no. They know. So nothing against Terre Haute. They're like the 12th best city in Indiana. So we'll see what happens from there. So we've got a lot of football for you. I believe we're going to try to catch. We've got a spot here we're going to go to, and we'll be back. You're listening to WW live stream on WWSR Radio.
For over 100 years, Stewart Seed has been proud to work with our friends and neighbors in Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. We remain committed to building partnerships rooted in personalized customer service and by providing locally tested products that fit your farm and help your bottom line. Local solutions, promise delivered. Contact Michael Trueblood at 812-620-3311 for all your Stewart Seed needs.
Lincks Clothing and Shoes carries a wide variety of items from name brand clothing and shoes to sports apparel and sporting goods. We offer custom screen printing and embroidery, free gift wrapping, alternations, and layaway. Our hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5:30, Friday 9 to 6, and Saturday 9 to 5. We are conveniently located on the north side of the Salem Square and are a family-owned and operated business. Stop by and see us today, 812-883-4154.
are listening to West Washington live stream, simulcast on WWSR Radio, the official home of West Washington football. I'm Brad Mills alongside Craig Akers, and we are less than 4 minutes away from this football game that seems like we've been waiting on for a very long time. So the last time we had to wait this long, it felt like that would be semi-state last year when we made the same venture. However, though, we were in the metropolitan of Indianapolis there last year in Southport. Now we are in the middle of I'm serious, folks, as far as the eye can see, I see corn.
It's a lot like home.
It is a lot like home. I am waiting, just like we do at home, for if they build it, they will come out of here. So we're going to have a great matchup for us tonight here as the Senators are going to be taking on the North Central Thunderbirds in this battle of sectional opponents here in the regular season. Looking around, some other games going on tonight. Paoli's got Indianapolis Shortridge, Perry Central at Eastern Green, and Springs Valley at South Decatur. And the Salem Lions, they have the are they Corden Central this week? I believe. Let me check. We'll get that in a second. Of the county schools there as we'll look. We're going to have the coin toss here in a bit. We heard from that, kind of the status quo, trying to keep up the same things, trying to get better each week on those little things that we've you look at, and as you go forth, I know that you travel this far too. You also worry about the cramping with a lot of kids. Is it gonna really be a factor? Hopefully they got enough fluids in them. Thankfully we didn't have to fly up here.
Right. The Senators did take a quick stop in Bloomfield to get some food, get some liquids in on their way up. So they did stop. So it wasn't quite the full 2-hour ride, but it was plenty.
So you hit up Bloomfield like myself, Lynn, and Switz City.
Yes.
Which we got the home of the Blue River Valley Wolverines.
Yep.
My friend Stacia is a teacher over there, so from college.
Is it Blue River or is it White River?
White River, sorry.
Yes,
White River.
Blue River is up by my hometown, by Newcastle.
So right up there, and you are going to be hearing, as you can tell from our thing there, we are going to be having a lot of fan interaction here as the Thunderbirds got some boisterous fans. And if you look real close, you can see Athletic Director Darren Russell walking out of the cornfield over there as he's walking across. And I know he's not listening to this, but I figure somebody might, so I'll give him a hard time there.
Well, Thunderbirds come out onto the field.
Green jerseys with the white. I will say I love those helmets. I'm a Michigan guy, so if you have the kind of look like that, I'm gonna really root for you there. They got the black pants. Senators, like we said, the white on white with they can. I guess we're the only people that can wear white after Labor Day.
I guess. If we just match size of these two teams, West Washington looks bigger.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of size overall. So, just a looking, at the kids, it looks like we're going to be the bigger team here. We're going to find out real quick if our line can push the Thunderbirds line, like they have done the past 4 games.
And we've talked to a lot of the people here. They're talking about the young freshmen, and you see a whole group of young men, very big size over there in boots and casts for the Thunderbirds, and I hate that for them because those are young men that probably will never get to play in their high school football games.
And those are seniors.
Yes.
I believe every one of those that's standing over there is a senior. So the Thunderbirds have been, kind of, I don't want to use the word, but decimated by injuries. They've lost their starting quarterback, their best running back, and their best receiver, all seniors. So,
and a very large defensive lineman, Anthony Crockett, who's 6'3", 315.
Yeah.
Over there, so you see that, and if you could compare him to some of the Liam Saulers over here, probably the biggest kid on the team there, junior, who's 6 foot 280 there. 350 there. So the Senators will be receiving the kick. They will be defending the south goal where the scoreboard is at. They'll be headed north towards some homes here and empty bleachers. That what is really sucks about social distancing. You figure if this was a chance that the Senators would have a lot of coming, so people come to the game. It looks like Kyler Streeter is going to be kicking off for the Thunderbirds here. number 8, Nathan Trench, sorry, is going to be kicking off here. And we got some issues. We got real quick. They're going to fix the clock there real quick just for a second. You know, hey, it's early. The officials are already blowing their whistle at us. It's a good game. Here is the kick. It is up. It is halfway down. It's going to be fielded by Grayson McCoy, who looks, and he's going to be going behind somebody. He's got daylight. He's got daylight. He's got one man to beat. He's getting drugged down, and he gets full the way down to the 35-yard line.
All the way back to where the kickoff started. Great run there by Grayson. You see him catch that, and he gets behind his blockers. You know, does a great job of getting up that crease and then up the field. Great job by the freshman there.
And that's going to be great starting field position for your Senators as they start on the 35-yard line. On their first drive, Grayson McCoy setting the tone early on. The freshman, the true freshman there, making a big play, just falling behind his blockers there. If I got to follow Jake Strange, I think I could get a couple yards.
Yeah.
All righty, Bowsman under center. Here's the snap. He is going to drop back. He is looking to throw. He's going to pass it outside to Parker Green. It's going to be off his fingertips for an incomplete pass. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 with 11:45 left.
It'll be 2nd and 10.
And we appreciate the sun is going down, so we're hopefully going to be able to get our scoreboard up.
There we go.
There.
Scoreboard should be up and good. Having a little issues. The camera was wanting to adjust for the sunlight that's hitting it. We've got an official timeout.
And speaking of our scoreboard, would you like to thank our scoreboard
our
sponsors?
Scoreboard sponsors, Brady Bishop with Channel Seed, big scoreboard sponsor there. Thank you to him, along with Michael Trueblood and Stewart Seed. So thank you to both of those guys.
Bowsman set back in the gun right next to McFeeters. Here's the snap, and it looked like a little jump by number 72 there of the Thunderbirds there, Coy Brooks, and it'll be some easy yards for the Senators.
5-yard penalty.
So we'll take that, and we appreciate everybody if you do. We're in different confines. I hope it's coming out here and okay. We definitely not like when we had to do the Valley game. We're right next to the speaker, so we got some stuff here. Bowsman takes the snap. He's going to hand off to McFeeters. McFeeters cuts left.
Finds a hole.
Oh, my goodness. He is shredding, and he is going to go down right short of the end zone. It looks like he's going to be about 4 yards out there, Mr. Akers.
Yeah. Hard to tell. I'm at kind of a weird angle, so looks like about 4.
Yeah. So he is with a great run there, about 24 yards for McFeeters. And that's going to set up a 1st and goal here.
McFeeters still in the backfield.
Yeah. Valsman going to be, a quick toss here, and that's Kenton. And Kenton's going to cut up, and he's going to find Paydirt. And they're just like that.
Just like that, Senators score. Kenton Chase in for a touchdown. Going to make the score 6-0 Senators.
Kenton Chase on a 5-yard touchdown. The true freshman with a great run there.
44 seconds into the game.
Yeah.
Senators already on the scoreboard.
11:16 left. The Senators are going to be going to
Senators
the
go with a looks like a full house backfield because you've got Van Cleve in there too.
Oh my goodness! And Van Cleve just implanted one of the North Central players almost in the goalpost there, as McFeeters is going to run in for the 2-point conversion. And so with 11:16 left, the Senators have taken an 8-0 lead on the 5-yard touchdown run by Ken Chase and Roper McFeeters for the 2-point conversion.
We're going to step aside, take a quick commercial break, be back in just a moment.
For over 100 years, Stewart Seed has been proud to work with our friends and neighbors in Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. We remain committed to building partnerships rooted in personalized customer service and by providing locally tested products that fit your farm and help your bottom line. Local solutions, promise delivered. Contact Michael Trueblood at 812-620-3311 for all your Stewart Seed needs.
Welcome back to West Washington live stream here from North Central High School in Farmersburg, Indiana, 20 miles south of Terre Haute. That's where we're at. So we are here for this matchup, and the West Washington Senators have jolted out to an 8-0 lead here, 44 seconds into the game. So Jake Strange is going to be kicking off here, and we'll see a lot of guys out here getting hungry for a hit because we've not had a real good hit on defense yet. So let's see what happens.
Jake's dad over on the far sideline, not standing underneath the goal like normal. So
and that ball's going to take it straight in. I mean, he kicked a line drive right there.
Where he's met by one of the Senators. Can't pick up a number on that one.
I saw number 18 for it as
I think it's number 8. I think
Number
that's
8.
Glenn Rankin.
Glenn Rankin there. So definitely a decent run there to start that, and you always want to see that, but then you run into the wall that is Glenn Rankin there. So they're going to be on their own 35-yard line, the Thunderbirds. Well, the 35's been where we started.
Yeah.
I liked our 35 a lot better, though, for the T-Birds here. And so we'll see right here as we got they're going to go with a wishbone-looking backfield. As we can see, they're going to be handing it off there.
Right into the heart of that Senator defense, that defensive line.
And I see 3 or 4 guys rolling off Glenn Rankin we talked about earlier. They're Pearson, and I think that was Big Mike Leach there. And Andrew, no, excuse me, not Mike. Yeah, it was Mike Leach. And then Andrew Lewis there coming through. What a play right to start off there. No gain. They moved it up about a length of a football, but I don't think they got much. So the T-Birds going to be taking their time coming out here. Not a real fast action offense. Just trying to get everything right. They've got some new people in new positions. So let's see what happens here.
2 backs in the backfield.
And Trench is going to hand off, and somebody's going to break a tackle and get up.
Gaining yards. Good job there. Hard run. Legs still churning.
Jeremiah Smalls with a great run there. Man, look at that forward progress there, Mr.
Yeah,
Akers.
he's going to gain all the way up to the 41.
Yeah. So he came up and got a 5-yard gain there for Swalls.
Going to be 3rd and 5.
And here's the play. That's why that first down's so important, because you give up 2 or 3 on that first down, or even 2 yards, and you get 5 on that second down. Then you're looking at a 3rd and 3. 3rd and 5 I like a lot more. They're going to have to really come up with something here. I would watch the tight end release over here. We got Grayson McCoy over here, I believe, on the outside.
No wide receiver to this side.
Yeah.
So
here's going to be, and it's going to be a sweep, and it's the ending round, and he gets caught up.
He gets turned and then turned back.
And the ball, did it come loose?
I don't know.
I saw the action, and the official saw the same thing as me. The forward progress was stopped on about the 39.
Yeah, I saw a beanbag out, so that means that the ball did come loose.
Wow.
Senators going to bring in their punt defense, where Roper McFeeters drops back to return the punt.
And some coloration you're seeing on the field there. It looks like a different patch of grass there.
Yeah.
Right in the middle. I don't know if they had to reseed or what. Down here on the 40, you guys will see. I don't know if they have a broken sprinkler head there or something. It's going to be a punt. It's going to be up. And, man, Ethan Roberts almost got a hand on that one. It's going to take a T-Bird bounce and go to about the 38-yard line where it's going to be downed.
Down and around the 38-yard line.
So
Senators come back out with their offense.
Taking over on its own 38.
8:53 to go in the first quarter of play.
I tell you, you see the Senators. I wonder if we're going to see a big play right off the bat here. You saw a lot of the T-Birds. Not very many of them came off the field.
Yeah, they're playing a lot of kids both ways. Bobby Stevens to the near side.
Could have a wheel route over here, we saw. And no, it's going to be a direct.
It's going to be a hold and keep.
And he's going to stretch. He's going to get hit. Man, he's shredded 3 guys. He's got some daylight. He's going to fall behind Bobby. He's going to step out wisely there at about the
nice run there by Holden with the cut, the release, making 3 people miss.
About a 21-yard gain there for Bowsman. Anytime your quarterback takes off and he doesn't have daylight, he shredded a couple guys. And I was just hoping that when you're going towards that sideline, there's nothing good that can ever happen. Nothing. It's just hard. So I was like, step out there. That is not a play we need. All right, so T backfield there. We got Parker Green on the far left side. And
Jake on this side.
They're going to maybe pick on Michael Stewart over there. Ooh.
Parker gets his hands on it, but unable to bring that one in. Parker over there shaking his head. He knows that one was on him. That was a good pass there by Holden.
That was a quick slant, right?
Yep.
And he tucked the step in. And, the best thing about that slant is you see what the 5 to 6 yards they're getting right off the bat. So Holden Bowsman can chuck a ball like that. So he will get it there on a dime. He can throw it through a window. So here we go, full house backfield. It is going to be a handoff to McFeeters. McFeeters cuts inside, and he is going to get close to a first down there. Looks
They're
like
going
he's
to move the chain, so first down for the Senators.
So big run there by the Senators, and they're going to get down to going from the 38 to the, let's see, that is the
25?
25, yeah. And we apologize. Like we said, we've got this real wackadoodle angle here, so 13-yard gain for McFeeters, and Bowsman's going to drop back. He's going to pass, and he's going to go a jump ball to Green. Oh, Green had
second chance.
He had it up at his hands, at his head, and it's almost at his face mask there. If you wonder, like, if he did that, and credit to the defensive back over there for I believe that is Rowdy, maybe Pearson over there. It looks like he was on him. So great coverage there by the Thunderbirds.
The Senator coaching staff has seen something with Parker Green.
Maybe they're just trying to get him to get all his drops out of him tonight.
They've seen the matchup that they like. That's why they've gone to him twice.
And there's McFeeters. He's getting skinny, and he's rolling. And then the only man there, Pearson, we brought up him, brings him down.
And when you get a corner bringing down your running back, he's gained quite a few yards already. So Senator's knocking on the door again.
And I'm trying to figure out why that. Oh, because we're inside. Yes, we're inside there as they're going to be doing it. And it's down to the 8 from the 25. So that was a huge run by McFeeters. 25 plus. So here's McFeeters, single backfield. Stevens out wide left. Here's the pass. It's going to be jump ball to Jake Strange. He should get it.
Nice job by Jake to bring that one in. Going to be another touchdown for the Senators.
8 yards, Bowsman to Strange. And I like that for Jake.
Yeah.
Jake's had some rough games where mismatches. He's not, the defense has been keyed on him. So, and Jake did not ride all the way up here to not catch a touchdown pass tonight. So, Jimmy's probably got a big sigh of relief over there for him. Here's the handoff to Stevens. He's going to be rumbling, stumbling, bumbling, and he still didn't stop.
He's in the end zone. The only thing that was going to stop him was the goalpost.
Or the 2 sets of bleachers behind him, because he would have taken out that goalpost. So that brings us up to a 16-0 lead for the Senators with 7:54 left. We're going to go to some commercials. You're listening to WWSR and WW Livestream.
Your success is Stewart Seed's success. That's the idea behind their 100% replant eligible program for grower customers. You deserve peace of mind even during an unpredictable season. Maximizing your profit potential comes down to identifying challenges and capitalizing on opportunities. Stewart Seed's agronomy library keeps you up to date with local agronomy insights to help you navigate through the season. Our team members make it a priority to work with your unique needs to find the best solution available. Get to know everyone on our team, from the field sales representatives to our technical agronomists. Building trusted relationships starts with sharing what we know with our Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio neighbors just like you. Stay up to date on the latest local agronomy updates, harvest communication, and news from Stewart Seeds. Let's keep in touch, because that's what neighbors do. Contact Michael Trueblood at 812-620-3311.
You're listening to West Washington live stream on WWSR. Jake Strain's getting ready to kick off. The Senators are up 16-0 here with 7:54 left here in North Central Farmersburg. Here's the kick by Strange. It is an end-over-end kick. It's going to go there to number 2, Jeremiah Swallows. He's going to pick it up, and he's going to be cutting inside and out before he is met by a slew of Senators there.
I believe
number 59 there for the Senators. Dylan Keller.
Yeah.
A true freshman. Breaking down and making a tackle there.
Gets his opportunity there on special teams to get in.
And here's your roster, sir. I apologize. That was a mean guy and grabbed 3 of them.
That was okay. I was just letting you have all the fun.
Well, I figured you had 90,000 other things. If you guys don't, and give Craig a round of applause, he does a great job. He knows way more about technology than I do here. So the Thunderbirds are going to be bringing in that big backfield there. They're actually going to have the 2 offset backs and the 1 there in the wing, and that's going to be a handoff to Swallows again, I believe. He's going to get a little bit of yards. He's going to bring it up to about the 35-yard line for about a 5-yard gain there for the
That's going to be a long night if they're going to try to run against the Senators line on that side. Yeah. That's a big side. That's Big Mike over there along with Andrew Lewis.
Well, Swallows has I've got him down for 2 carries for 5 yards. At least he's consistent. So he's got that. So we'll see. He's got as the T-Birds are going to come back there, they're going to have to.
The Senators are going more with a 5-2 look with a 4 players in the secondary. So.
Yeah, they are. They're dropping back there looking at that. That's going to be an option out to number 88, Pearson. And he's going to shake the first guy, but he is not going to shake the next two.
Nope, they're right there. That Jake Strange did a nice job on that side, making the quarterback pitch it, and then staying out wide enough that the back that he pitched to has to come upfield, which is where all the help is. That's the way you play that option.
After all that running, then you run into a very mad Charles Madden.
Right.
Which I would not want to run into there coming off of that, and that's what Charles did. He planted him in the ground there like many of the pieces of corn around this field. So here we go. So it's going to be 3rd and 5 there for the Thunderbirds, and they're going to be looking. I tell you what, the wide side of the field over here, maybe have some action. No, they're going to try to go up the middle, and that is not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, Big Mike there to stuff that one up.
Everybody rolling off. That's what you want when you're in some of these situations, Pearson. You hope everybody can get it. And McCoy on the tackle, too, there, giving some assists. That's a freshman who's not getting to play on JV because he's using his quarters up for varsity. So
and he's doing a heck of a job in the quarters that he's getting to play on the varsity side.
Yeah.
So Roper McFeeder's back to return this punt.
And we got some laundry on the field there. Never got back to number 8 there, Nathan Trench.
I think we're going to have an offsides on Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
us.
Senators.
So that might bring up enough for a first down. That is going to be close. I'm willing to bet the Thunderbirds it is. It's going to be a first down.
First down, move the chains. I know Coach Gibby's not going to be very happy about that one, giving up a first down on a punt situation.
Yeah, when you've got them backed up there, and even though you're up, 16-0, you want to play your best. You always want to show your best. And you don't want to show anybody on tape a tendency that they can exploit there. It was probably a hard count. Somebody just jumped. All right, so Thunderbirds are going to come back. That big backfield they got there. And they're going to hand it off. Great fake out here by the quarterback there, Trench, but it's going to be for just a few yards there. Number 2 Swallows.
You can tell the Thunderbirds are slowing this game down. They're coming to the sideline each time to get the play, which is exactly what you want to do when you've got a team that plays fast, puts up a lot of points. You want to slow that game down, which is what the Thunderbirds have done so far.
Well, I don't wish it for any team if they're coming down to play us or us coming up to play them. That there's a lot of dead balls because that means it's the later you get home. So we've got the drive ahead of us at the end, but that's all right. We're sitting here. We got the handoff there up the middle, and man, he is met by his own lineman and then just can never get
going. That's his legs are churning, but he's not getting it anywhere.
And Swallows, junior there keeps churning, but man, he hit his right guard. Mark Sanchez, was that right? The butt fumble that he ran into. He got pancaked by his own lineman, and then all that forward momentum he had just was decimated. So
Senators set again here in their 5-2-4 defense.
Yeah, so the North Central is going to have to try to execute something here pretty early. They're going to be, looks like they're going to be going to the middle again. That's where they want to go, but
that's one of those, they want to go to the middle, but that's the strongest part of the Senator defense is that line.
Andrew Lewis and Mike Leach right there coming through with a great tackle, and that's going to be a 4th down.
And if you run to the opposite side, you've got Jake.
Yeah.
So it's a no-win situation there. I mean, no matter where you go, you got a big lineman sitting there just waiting.
And that's what you're going to see here is they're going in trenches, the quarterback. So he could throw this if you're looking here. If I'm willing to bet you're going to try something tricky. An end-over-end punt. It's going to go to McFeeder's right there at the 29-yard line. He picks it up, and he was kind of falling forward. He's going to fall to about the 41 there. Hopefully he gets up all right there. Yep, he did.
Nice job there by Roper to catch that one as he's moving forward, so he's got some momentum, and then he makes one miss, which is his job. The wedge isn't set up there for him to follow through, so he does get dropped there, but it is a nice gain there for Roper on the punt return.
And we see he's going to go right there to the single back with Bowsman. Stevens over to that left, and then Green over here to our right. And it's going to be a pass, and they're going to be looking. Jake Strange is wide open over the middle of the field. I mean, wide open. He's got it, and he's going, and he is in the end zone. And
big 6'5" Jake Strange over the middle for a touchdown. Nice job by Jake there. That's just a tight end release down the field.
Hey, Flight 32 just left the North Central Airport. It had an in-flight movie and a couple stewardesses there, and they touched down right there, just south of Terre Haute. So good play by Strange, and he's gonna pick that up for a 60-yard touchdown. And I made the people in North Central here laugh, so I'm pretty happy. I think they heard that. So the great fans here, good people.
Ian Rosenbaum back to kick this one away.
The freshman connection is up, and it's good.
Good job by Ian for that extra point. We're going to jump away to a commercial break from the Washington County Community Foundation. Big thanks to them for their sponsorship. We'll be back with more West Washington football in just a moment.
In 2012, the Washington County Community Foundation began working on its next big initiative, Education Matters. The goal of Education Matters is to increase the educational attainment of adults residing in our county. The initial focus has centered on adults with some college and no degree. With the assistance of scholarships and a peer mentoring program, the foundation began helping adults return to college to complete their degree or obtain a certification in 2013. Realizing that strength lies in numbers, Washington County partnered with Clark, Floyd, Harrison, and Scott counties to create Education Matters Southern Indiana. This initiative continues to build.
Welcome back to West Washington Livestream simulcast on WWSR. I'm Brad Mills alongside Craig Akers, and we are trying to enjoy our time up here in Farmersburg as it is a 23-0 lead for the Senators. As if the cornfields are rocking, don't bother knocking, because here we go. The Senators are going to be kicking off here. Jake Strange looking for somebody. And I tell you what, James Thomas back there may be the guy he's looking at, because he's just been staring him down. So let's see what happens here for Jake. He's going to line up. He's going to hit it. It's going to be actually a pooch over the middle, and that's going to go down. Oh, it's going to get past. And that ball wisely
fall on it.
Yeah, and there Pierce, and I think they were trying to catch some people sleeping there. So
it could be one of two things: catch some people sleeping, or Jake could have missed it.
Jake could have been tired.
I saw a couple of kicks last year where Jake got more dirt than he did ball, so it does happen.
And it may be past that point where we might see Ian Rosenbaum out there a little bit more doing some stuff there. So. Doing a little bit of the kicking duties, giving Jake's leg a chance, because that's got to be, when you run for a 60-yard touchdown and then you turn around and try to kick it off there, that's got to be a little, I know for most people, they can't even kick off and kick field goals in the NFL.
Yeah.
All right, here's the handoff up the middle, and it is just a scrum pile.
Scrum pile of everybody there.
And that ball came out, but I believe the official here was saying he was down the far side. There by the change said he was already down. I did hear a quick whistle. If there's something I do like on that play, I do like it when people are good enough to get that call in for us, to let us know that, let the players know, hey, that play's over. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Those of you who are able to listen on WWSR, we're sending out the video as fast as we can get it out. So maybe a little delayed there to you if you're trying to listen on WWSR and then watch the stream. So we're getting it to you the best we can.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody listening. We've gotten such good feedback. I know we walk the halls every day and we hear people enjoying it, and that's going to be a run to the right side there, and just a couple yards running for his life over there was I believe was that Pierce there on the end and around.
I didn't see who had
88
the
is, I believe it was. So he went to the right side and got a couple. So now we're going to be sitting here with 2:22 left here in the first quarter, 23-0 West Washington leading the North Central Thunderbirds. And Jessica Nance giving us shout out, says it sounds great. I'm glad that her and the crew there, probably they stayed home tonight.
I would bet they stayed home.
She posted a picture of Bridget, little itty bitty on Dwayne's desk. It's National Daughter Day. Did you post your pictures for your daughter?
I didn't, not yet.
You're killing me, Smalls. And there's going to be the run. And that ball, it came
that ball's out.
And I believe the Senators are going to recover.
Take over.
Yes. And that official, usually see that good like right arm right away
Yeah.
to know, and so he kind of did a like
Wasn't real sure that it was out, but then got confirmation from
from the side.
the side that it was out. So
That may not have been his call. It probably
Right.
was the outside official there. So the Senators are going to take over after that fumble on about their.
this is the formation that I really like. Jake up on the line, and then Kenton Chase behind him.
Yes, and that's where we might see that crossing pattern
Correct.
that we saw last week. So let's see what happens here. And there's this is the chance too. No, it's going to be McFeeters over the middle, and maybe setting that up for later. McFeeters with a great run up the middle. And that's a first real big stop for the
the Thunderbirds in the backfield on that one do a nice job.
Coy Brooks with a great tackle there for the Thunderbirds. He came through and was able to drop McFeeters there for looks like no gain.
Yeah.
Roper ran about 5 yards.
with his head down really hard, but didn't gain anything there. So holding back to pass.
And then
on
here's
this one.
Bobby on that wheel. And oh man, I tell you, Bobby just with shades of Stevie Johnson from the Buffalo Bills. You remember when he dropped that?
Yep, he put both hands on it. Bobby got both hands on it, but then wasn't able to bring it in. So
we're gonna have to get him some stickum on that sideline because that's what I tell you. What Coach Jones over there is just gonna paint his hands with the stickum, so he's good to go. Holy cow, that's all right though. Bobby, who led the PLAC, said his freshman year in receiving yards.
Yep.
At least he told me that. So here we go, Ken Chase on the quick toss, and it is. He's going to be behind. He's got some blocks. He's going to cut up the middle, and he's going to shake and bake. He's still rocking. He's still moving. He's on the left side.
look
he's
who's
up
out in front. Holden Bousman out there throwing a big block.
If you've got your quarterback leading you to the end zone, then you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Because he's
Kenton Chase does a nice job cutting back there, but Holden Bousman upfield throwing that last block.
30-yard touchdown pass. That's a pass, right?
Yeah, that is a pass because it is a forward pitch, so it is a pass.
Wow, what a play there! A freshman coming in, just lighting it up here for the Senators, and
Ian Rosenbaum back to
Jackson
try
Cameron
this
on the
extra
hold.
point.
A good kick again.
Up
Wow.
and good again for Ian.
The freshman connection. I believe we're going to step outside for a quick commercial. You're listening to West Washington Livestream, simulcast on WWSR.
At the heart of the Channel brand are the relationships we build with farmers like you. We call it seedsmanship. With Channel, you'll experience our seedsmanship at work services on your farm through the year-round, hands-on, customized service of your Channel seedsman. Your local Channel seedsman, Brady Bishop, knows your fields and can recommend an elite seed product designed to perform in your area and maximize the profitability of every acre. Contact Brady, your local Channel seedsman, at 812-620-4624.
Back to live action here at Farmersburg, where the Senators do lead
30-0 over.
My scoreboard went
Oh,
down.
sorry. Your scoreboard 30-0. I've just got to look out here at the real one, so we're good. So 30-0. There is 129 here left in the first quarter. We're not out of the first quarter yet, and it's been a landslide in the Senators' favor. Jake Strange is going to kick off, and he's looking to hopefully have a little better of a kick, get a little arch on it, get some people down there. As a whole slew of Senators, it's going to take a bounce in the middle of the field. It's going to pop up right there to Swallows, and he's going to find some dirt. He's going
Brought
to get a
down
couple
in
yards.
the middle of the field at, guess what, the 35.
35. That number keeps. Do we have a 35 for either team? No, and I don't believe we do. So yes, no 35 players. If you were number 35, night would have been your night. You know, I'm trying to figure out like if there's numbers that kind of appear to me that do that. And I know Mr. Wolf's listening, so if I won't forget, the Las Vegas Raiders are 2-0. I know you're happy, right?
Yes, I am actually a Raiders fan.
So Mr. Wolf, you're listening there. The Death Star is the stormtroopers that play in the Death Star are 2-0 there. Hopefully Luke Skywalker doesn't come in and blow it up, but let's see here. We've got 1:21 left here as the Thunderbirds are going to be taking the handoff, and they're going to go up the middle. They're going to find something, but not before they get pushed back there, and that's going to be second down for him.
I'm not sure who got back in there.
Lots of Lots of white jerseys.
Yes.
And we commented, and I'm looking. It looks great on the feed.
We're just in kind of a dead area for some service. So it's getting out the best it can. If you are watching at home and able to watch it, great. If not, if you bought the game, you can always go back after the game is over and watch it again. It will refresh at the fastest rate, so you'll be able to watch it then if you want.
Yeah, we appreciate it. I know a lot of people are starting to do that. I'm going to subscribe too. Here's going to be the end and around. That's going to be Swallows. He's got some
out wide.
Oh man, and he runs into McFeeters and gets pulled out there by Rankin. And McFeeters and Rankin just lower a shoulder on him, and he comes around the corner just chugging and lugging a lot, but just can't get around.
Can't get around that corner, get that edge that he really needs.
And we talk about Jake Strange, but Pearson over there on the other side. Also, causing some havoc there, forcing that outside, and then Grayson McCoy there, Pearson McCoy. That's a funny matchup. You look at them both there, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. West Washington leads 30-0. You were listening to West Washington live stream simulcast on WWSR Radio, the official home of West Washington football.
When you hit that water, you're gonna want to look for weeds, sunken structures, down trees, stuff like that, and let that breeze tell you where you want to go. Windy days like this, those bait fish will come swimming closer to shore. They'll bring the big boys with them, those bass and those pike. Now, they like cooler temperatures, so you ain't likely to have much luck.
You're good at giving fishing advice. We're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Days have always been with live bait.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Back to live action here at Farmersburg Field, where the Senators are ahead 30-0 after the first quarter of play.
And they are cruising for early on. All cylinders have been on for the Senators as we sit here and watch them attack. And hey, Mr. Akers, for the first time all night, we had the action right in front of us here. We might actually see the defense here. That is the wishbone, and it is going to be a quarterback keep to the outside. They switched quarterbacks on us there. They brought in Lane Hargis there, and Lane is only a freshman, so
I believe the other one that they had in was a freshman also. So
Nathan Trench, so two
freshmen that they're gonna play here, and
this is a prideful program. 2 years ago they won a sectional championship.
And I believe that year they graduated quite a few seniors.
Yeah.
So, they're a forecast of, what the Senators have, next year when we graduate 12 seniors.
Yeah.
You've got to have those young players step up and be ready to play.
Now, unfortunately for them, those young players are out here on the varsity field right now playing. And so it's going to be the kick is up, and they didn't run. Okay, his own man ran into him there. It's good. And that ball is going to die right there about the 39, so that's where the Senators are going to take over. 11:08 left here in the second quarter.
I believe that was Ethan Roberts back there.
Again, yeah.
Doing a nice job of pulling up. He gets there to block it, and when he doesn't get the ball, then he pulls up and the kick is away so he doesn't run into the kicker for a personal foul.
We talk about bringing next group up next year. He's going to be a junior.
Right.
And he's going to be playing that Jake Strange or Pearson role at defensive end, and then running back, of course, alongside McFeeters there. And McFeeters, speaking of him, you speak him into existence, and here he goes. He is trucking. He just trucked his own guy. He trucked Parker Green.
Parker Green got the Roper McFeeters defensive treatment.
Yeah.
Parker downfield blocking for Roper. Roper does a good job of running off the edge, running off the shoulder of that downfield blocker. Just gets too much of Parker on that one.
McFeeters with an 18-yard gain there for the Senators. And with 10:50, the clock rolling here, Stevens is going to be out wide left here. And Bousman's going to look. He's going to make that quick slant throw to Stevens this time.
Nice catch.
And
there,
it never came in.
Oh, never came in.
As we looked
on the backside, it looked like he had it and then went down, but he was bobbling it the whole time. So Going to be an incomplete pass there to Bobby from Holden.
Well, if I'm Holden, Jake Strange hasn't dropped one yet tonight, so he doesn't owe me anything. Like, I'm going to say, like, we don't have we have a Dairy Queen in Salem, don't we?
Yeah.
There's some blizzards, some chicken fingers there. He's going to owe him something for every drop you got. I give you the ball. Here's Stevens on the run now, and Stevens is trucking, and we just had a huge run. I'm looking. No whammies.
Touchdown, Senators.
A 43-yard touchdown for Bobby Stevens, the senior running back who came back from a broken leg last year. Devastating, the single-season all-time rushing record leader here at West Washington with a 43-yard run.
Makes the score 36-0. Senators up over North Central. 10:33 left to go. We're going to have Ian Rosenbaum back to kick another extra point.
Clark Nance on the snap, Jackson Cameron on the hold, and I see we got the outside edges covered there. That was a big thing he probably requested. He's got some guys blocking out there, so let's see what happens.
Back up.
It's
and
good.
Through. Good for the Senators. Makes it 37-0 Senators.
And Rosenbaum 3 for 3 on the night there. 3 extra points, and we're going to step away for a quick commercial break.
Never miss a big game by downloading the IHSAA TV app for free on any device. For your iPhone or Apple TV, check the App Store. On your Android or Android TV device, load up the Google Play Store. Have a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick? We have the app for you. Check us out on Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube Live by searching for IHSAA TV. Or as always, click to ihsaatv.org for quick and easy access to your favorite IHSAA live and archived events.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Welcome back to West Washington Live Stream. I'm Brad Mills alongside Craig Akers, and if you're listening to us on WWSR, thank you. If you're watching us on the live stream, thank you also. The Senators are heating up here, 37-0 here, with 10:33 left in the second quarter, and I believe that is the magic number for the running clock, or is that only in the second half?
Second half.
Second half. So you can score as much as you want in the first half.
Yep.
My time away from football really messed me up when I had to go to the other South Central, which is not South or Central in the. I presume we're in the east central part of the county up here. Here is the kick, and it's a long, low driver, and that's going to be off of number 7's hands. James Thomas is going to be picked up by Pierce, and he's going to be shaking a couple tackles, but not before.
He made the first one miss, but the rest of them were there.
Yeah, Roberts, who we gave a good shout-out to there, came through, but then, Braxton Sprouse was the beneficiary of a couple big guys being right there with him, Glenn Rankin and Roper McFeeters, and I'm going to give that tackle to Sprouse. So he's got that, and they're going to be starting way down in their own end zone. So I believe about the 18-yard line there for the.
Speaking of Sprouse, we see him in on defense here at his corner position.
Yeah, he is. And then so maybe he's going to take that McCoy when McCoy's on the other side. Yeah. So young guys we talk about, we're going to have some guys that are going to have to really step up next year. And it's games like these where you can get kind of a mix and get your teeth wet. All right, here we go. And it's going to be a quick handoff up the middle to Pierce, and he is going to be shoved down by Michael Leach, and it's going to go nowhere. And the Eastern Green the Eastern North Central fans, oh my gosh, I've just insulted them calling them that. I apologize. It's blasphemy there, calling them. They're way cooler than Eastern Green. They're begging for a pass. They've not gotten one yet tonight. So I hope that they do try, because, these quarterbacks, 2 young guys, they're maybe doing that, and at least keep the cornerbacks honest. Lane Hargest in. He's going to be trying to figure out the varsity offense in a short time here.
Lane Hargest in, quarterback from T-Birds.
And he's in, and they got the full, and they're going to have a quick timeout there. We talk about a lot of the games going on around the area tonight. I'm going to try to update some of them as we go along here.
About 50 minutes ago, which I know is probably old news at this point, Rock Creek had stopped Scottsburg, I believe is who they're playing, and are up 6-0. I know that was
so
a while
this
ago.
is from my buddy over at the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Newcomb over at Eastern. 36-0 North Harrison over Eastern. I love Mr. Newcomb. He's just learning to use Twitter, so it's like my dad. Salem does lead Corden 22-14 at the half. That's 1 minute ago. Thank you, Josh Lewis. If you don't follow the Texas_Hoosier, he does a lot for our local paper there, the Salem Leader.
Milan leading Edinburgh, which would be a regional matchup for the Senators or the Thunderbirds, either one. Milan is in that sectional that then would meet up with the sectional that the Senators and Thunderbirds are in.
So we've got quite a few games going on here. I'm trying to follow up our buddy Murphy Wheeler, who we got to meet last week. Madison leads Mitchell 41-12 with 3 minutes left in the half over there. All righty, so here we go. Lane Hargis is going to be taking the snap, and it's going to be up the middle. Power is not going to be Power. It went off right there as you see just the white jerseys pushing that line back and just stripping them down. So 9:22 left here in the second quarter. It's 37-0 West Washington. So the Big Ten does not start till October, right?
Right.
So they've got that. I heard Nebraska's schedule is like the worst thing ever. Like they're like, wow, welcome to. I guess theirs is horrible. I use Mr. Nance was telling me IU's wasn't bad. They actually like some of their matchups.
Well, that's good.
I don't care as long as Ohio State loses. And there's some confusion there and there's going to be moving a whole line there. Okay.
Now we're going to be offset. Look like we're going to get another timeout for the Thunderbirds. We're going to stick right here with you.
So, how about that? We saw a quick play there that they were trying to hurry up and get something going there.
Which I know they're not real happy with, calling a timeout and then trying to get a, play going and having to take another timeout. We talked earlier that this is a new coach.
Monday.
Started Monday here.
So I know that you're going to try to keep terminology the same and things like that. As somebody who went through 4 head coaches in 5 years at a school on the junior high staff, where I went from going to the power eye to the wishbone to the wing tee to the I don't know.
It's a different different verbiage for everyone. That's one of the things that the Senators are lucky. Their coaching staff has stayed the same, so they get to have the same verbiage the whole time. So when they're calling in plays, it's the same. It's not something that's completely different, completely new to them. So,
and you see the Thunderbirds are now lined up. They look a lot better. They've shifted that line to like a T. Offset I backfield.
Yeah, offset I, it looks like.
Yeah, and they're going to pass here. And there's going to be the pass, and it's going to be
through the hands. Nice job by the corner there, Braxton Sprouse, going for the ball.
Number 7, James Thomas, comes through, and he goes to make the play, and he gets it in his hands, but the transition from your hands then to the arm to kind of bring it down was not there. So good job by Braxton. That's going to bring out the punt unit for the Thunderbirds of North Central.
So number 8 drops back to kick this one away.
That is Mr. Nathan Trench, who was playing quarterback earlier there. He's going to take the snap, and it is a beautiful snap. And it has a great kick there. It's going to go one, and it's going to be – I don't think Kenton's going to want to touch that at all.
Kenton does a nice job of getting away from that one.
And that ball is going to roll down to about the 44-yard line. That's where the Senators are going to start.
Senators have 8:34 left to go here in the second quarter of play. As long as the spread stays as it is, we will have a running clock in the second half.
A couple scores of interest: Forest Park, South Spencer. Forest Park 8, South Spencer 7 in the second quarter. Boonville 7, Mount Vernon 0 in the first quarter. Washington 7, Princeton 0 in the first quarter.
We see big Jaron Roll in on the line.
Yep, and then Bousman's going to roll. He's going to hit Parker Green. Parker strips one. He high steps. He's got it going. He's got one man to beat, and he's got the block, and he's going to be in for a 44-yard touchdown. Excuse me, that's going to be more than 44 yards because that was 6 on the other side. That's a 56-yard touchdown. 56 yards for Parker Green from Holden Bousman. Wow, I tell you, right there we talked about a quick play right off the bat there and a confidence booster there for Parker. I really like more that he broke that tackle and high-stepped it out. Rosenbaum here for the extra point. Trying to add his 4th on the night, I believe. The snap is down. It's low, but it's going to be good enough. And Rosenbaum comes through.
Puts that one through. Good job by Ian there. We're going to step aside, have a commercial break from Brady Bishop at Channel C, and we'll be back to more live action here in just a moment.
Bishop Seed is more than just seed sales. They're a multifaceted business. Owner Brady Bishop is a channel seedsman who knows your fields and can recommend an elite product designed to perform in your area and maximize the profitability of every acre on your farm. Bishop Seeds also offers chemical sales for the ever-expanding chemical industry and a variety of cover crops to help keep erosion down and yield up. They also offer climate field view so you can make a data-driven decision to maximize the return on every acre. Reach out and give Brady a call at 812-620-4624.
To West Washington live stream simulcast on WWSR, the official home of West Washington football. I'm Brad Mills alongside Craig Akers. We are at North Central High School in Farmersburg, Indiana tonight.
And we're going to see a change in kickoff. I believe this is Ian back to kick this one away.
44-0 lead for the Senators, so Rosenbaum getting a chance here to take the kick. And he hits a wobbler. It's going to go right there to number 13, Michael Strout, and he's going to be whoa, goodness, pulled. Bobby Stevens.
Pulled down. Bobby Stevens gets a handful of jersey and drags him down. Nice job there by Bobby to get the Thunderbirds.
Keller and a whole slew of other Senators right there ready to chomp on the bits there. So it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 40.
And this is one of those that kind of in a little bit of an awkward position. Those starters can't get off the field because of that JV game Monday.
Yeah.
You know, they have to play quarters because we don't have enough. If we play JV in the varsity game more than 2 quarters, we don't have enough to play a JV game. So.
Yeah. And here's the handoff to number 7 there, Thomas, and he is going to be driven back. Looks like for no gain. Spot here right in front of us as we look at. So the Senators, all Senators tonight. I mean, that's one thing.
Yeah, the Senators, like we said, it's going to be a battle of the line, and the Senators line came to play tonight.
I mean, that's one of the things you look across there, and I will like to see, like, if the JV guys do get some time here. Some of those I know we're down. Kai Struther, who's
he's out with a broken foot, isn't it?
Broken ankle. Broken ankle in that JV game that he hurt. And so, guys, Victor Young.
Victor Young's out with torn ACL.
Yeah, so
had surgery this past week.
And their Swallows, he found a hole and he got through and almost got a first down there. And you see that as Glenn Rankin got pulled down a little bit. He's telling the referee, I don't know if he got under him there, but Glenn's not going to be one to sit there and complain.
No. I had a nice chat with Glenn, looking to get into the firefighter field, talking about maybe going down to Louisville or the Jeffersonville area. He's taken the class through the vocational school there, but they're unable to have the actual class and the trainings because of COVID and mixing the kids together from different schools. So, he's chomping at the bit to get into that role, but can't quite do it yet.
Here's the pitch outside to Pearson. He is going to be met by Lewis, who cannot bring him down, but that's okay.
We're going to get a flag on a face mask.
Yeah.
Nice job by
McFeeters
coming through, but then we're going to get a face mask.
I think that was either Leach or it looks like Pearson.
Yeah, Leach or Madden. Both of them were there, I believe.
Oh. So. And, that's where if you hit that guy the first time, then you don't have that play, and that's when you see.
And Roper did a nice job of standing him up, just couldn't bring him down. But then when the other two got there, it was they got a face mask on the way down.
I believe that's the second first down of the night there for the Thunderbirds. The other one was the penalty, though. So both penalties have equaled that, and I know Coach Gibby's not liking that.
Yeah.
When your penalties, and even in this situation, you want to be able to say, "Hey, my defense has got the chops out there." you want to give them your best. You don't want to give them your leftover Taco Bell. You want to give them your prime rib.
Lane Hargis coming in as quarterback.
Yep, they've been switching up on us, keeping us honest. It's going to be a pass.
Nice roll.
He's got a great block there by Pierce. And he's going to try to hit it to the sidelines to Swallows, and it's complete.
Nice job by Charles Madden out there in coverage.
It's they have wanted the forward pass here, much like Army, who invented it there way back in the day. And I know the people around here are very happy to see the forward pass. And so we got 6:22 left here in the second quarter, and they are trying to get something going. Hey, and if you're to this point, this is where you try to find something. You
try to win, plays. You try to win, series.
Yeah.
If you could win a quarter now, it'd be great.
Right now, you string together a couple first downs, you're in good shape. And, man, Swallows.
There's the ball on the ground.
Yeah, Craig, I think when he got it, it juggled out. He went to try to trap it. I don't know if his arms got juggled or if they were in the wrong format there for that handoff. He just looked like he never had it.
It did hit the ground, but luckily he fell right on top of it, so that was.
And, I watched an NFL game where a guy had to come out because he fell on the ball.
Yeah.
And
it can definitely knock the wind right out of you.
I forget it wasn't your Raiders because they're just world beaters. So, and they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Well,
so.
I don't know about that, but they are 2-0, just like my fantasy team.
There you go. I'm 0-2, man. I'm a Bungles fan, so we're trying to hope that let's go Joe. All righty. So here's going to be the quick snap, and it looks like Pierce is going to be getting. Nope, it's going to be
a pass,
and it's going to be high. And
it's going to be out of bounds.
Lane Hargis kind of resembles a little bit of Carson Wentz there, mini Carson Wentz in that green uniform.
Yeah. Number 11.
Number 11. And so that's he rolls out there and makes the pass. And you know what? His credit, it was a high pass that only his guy
was going to get. So
as a freshman, that's a good pass. You're not throwing it away. You're like, hey, I'm going to throw it, and it's what it's going to be. So Hargis is going to lead the Thunderbirds back in here. It's a fourth down. Hey, they're playing with the house's money here.
Fourth and about 5 here. Inside Senator territory on the 40.
Yep. And the Thunderbirds will get the second half kickoff. So, we said, win it from here out. Try to find something that you can build on. Little nuggets that you can keep moving on as you go throughout your season. Here's going to be the pitch to the outside.
Pitch to the outside. He's met out there by big Jake Strange.
And
that's one of those that, nice pitch, nice run in the backfield, but Jake is just too much out on that end.
And you see Jake right there coming across. And, I saw Bryce Brown. Haven't got to say his name yet tonight, and I'm surprised that's the first time I've said it. And maybe it's because they've been running away. It's all been up the middle. So.
Well, it's been up the middle, and Bryce has been in on a couple of assists, tackles there and things, but
if Jake Strange is John Bon Jovi, then Bryce Brown is Richie Sambora. So, and
throwing out those music references,
they're going to be living on a prayer. So, here we go. Bowsman with McFeeters in the backfield. He's going to pass it real quick, and he's got Strange over the middle on a quick hot route. And all Strange got to do is get past Pierce. He's going to be fighting him off, and he's going to be into the end zone for a 60-yard touchdown. Wow.
Bowsman's pass to Strange for the West Washington touchdown.
From Bowsman to Strange, and he got it. And man, I tell you what, that is a senior right there, just going up. Jake Strange, per our chart, they got him at 6'6" and 250. And
I would agree that he's probably every bit of 250.
Well, Rowdy Pearson, who's got it 150 there, he's kid's playing hard.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's going, and he's outweighed by 100 pounds. So Rosenbaum with the extra point. So he's right at it, and then Jake's just a mismatch.
Yeah, that's the way it's going to be a lot this season with Jake over the middle. He's going to be a mismatch.
So with 5:22 left here in the second quarter, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. The Senators are leading 51-0 here on West Washington live stream.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Welcome back to West Washington live stream simulcast on WWSR. I'm Brad Mills alongside Craig Akers, and there is the kick, and it is up as the Senators are leading 51-0 here. And Pierce is going to be brought down there at about the 30-yard line. And we look at Robertson there on that tackle, and I'm just seeing everybody helping each other up here. And then, Holloway there, good, a kid whose name we're going to hear a lot next year.
Yeah, he's one who is just behind that group of seniors that's playing the line. Just can't get in the game.
We talked about Struthers in that same breath. There is another player who, hopefully we can have a strong side, your next year. As we get going here.
Fumble on the return, and West Washington has recovered.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Oh my goodness, we heard it from here first that there was we did not see it. So it appears that horrible radio and TV for us. Sorry guys.
Those of you at home may have seen it.
That. We're sitting here kind of looking at each other and. No, and that's not good for Pierce.
Pierce, a good, strong player, is coming off the side, holding his arm. So
that does not look good.
Doesn't look good for the Thunderbirds. He does a great job. Rowdy Pearson over there, playing corner and doing some wide receiver duty. So
and he was on that return.
Yeah,
and that's why maybe that ball came out. They're looking at his wrist as Bowsman's going to take off, and he's going to be the outside. He's got one guy to beat. He's going to cut inside, and he's going to have three guys, and he's going to push him out, but that's all right because he got out unscathed there about the 15-yard line.
10-yard line, 9-yard line in there.
About a 21-yard gain for Bowsman.
Nice job there by Bowsman to pull that, and then good job for Bobby Stevens out there throwing that block on that side.
That's something tonight. Has it just been me, or has everybody just been – it's been a block party, man?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of our wide receivers last year that were so physical out there, and did such a great job blocking. I feel like that is the way these guys are playing tonight.
That is, and I like to see that, mid-season form here. There was a little movement on the line, but it doesn't look like it mattered. And that's going to be Grayson McCoy.
Grayson McCoy into the end zone.
For, I believe, his first varsity touchdown.
I believe so, too.
Grayson on a 10-yard run, the freshman with a great run. And we talked about those names and people that we have to have next year. That's another guy.
That's one of them.
And that could be a guy who plays wide receiver.
Right.
That could be a guy who plays.
He's going to be kind of like Roper was last year. He's going to get a few touches in the backfield, but going to play some wide receiver, going to play some really strong defense.
Yeah. So he's got that. And, goodness, looking on all cylinders, it is 57-0 here with 4:48 left. And Rosenbaum gets the kick up.
That one up.
And it
does. Is good.
That was our probably our toughest angle to see there, even though it's right in front of us. It seemed like it went to the night sky there and just kind of fell out.
We're going to step aside, have a commercial break from Ryan Kemp at Edward Jones. We'll be back to live West Washington football action here in just a moment. The recent market volatility has affected just about everybody's financial and investment situations. So if you're planning on retiring soon, will it still be possible? Of course, with many people's jobs being affected by the coronavirus pandemic, your retirement plans may have been thrown into confusion. But assuming your employment is stable, you'll need to review your retirement goals and progress you've made towards achieving them so you can determine what moves, if any, you need to make. Then ask yourself some questions. For starters, are you flexible enough to make some changes to your retirement lifestyle? If you can find a way to make it less costly, you may not need to change your current investment strategy significantly. Also, if necessary, are you willing to work longer than you had originally projected so that you can put more money into your IRA or 401k? Here's another question. When should you take Social Security? The longer you wait, the bigger your monthly payments. Even in the midst of uncertainty, you still have choices. Consider them carefully and make the decision that works for you. For more information, contact Edward Jones Financial Advisor Ryan Kemp at 812-620-5604. Member SIPC.
Welcome back.
Back to live action here at Thunderbird Field.
we had a kickoff return there.
Sorry, commercial break ran over and I wasn't watching. I didn't catch it. So
well, no, that's the first time that we had some people that kind of slowing the game down. They were hustling out there.
Yeah, they got out there. Good news, Rowdy Pearson was the one who returned that, the one who came off with what we thought was an arm injury. So good for him.
Yeah, kid's playing hard, so we want to see. You don't want to see him get hurt. We got they're looking up at us here they're looking us dead down. He said just run the clock here. I believe we might have a running clock. We'll see as we get going here. So they're going to be taking the snap. And it's going to be in the middle there, Swallows. And he's going to be swallowed up there by Bryce Brown and a couple other of I see Big Mike Leach coming in there.
Yep. And like we said, the Senators have to play their starters for a certain number of quarters in order to be able to play JV
on Monday. So that's where you're looking at. And you also don't want to play people out of position because that's where they get hurt, You want to kind of – and you still have to get – next week's not guaranteed.
Right.
You don't know with the world that we live in right now, what happens. So you kind of got to say, hey, if we're off for a couple weeks, we're still, staying fresh. And, putting the foot on the gas, but also kind of we've put it on cruise control in this game, and it's worked out well for us. So number 11 there, Lane Hargis back at quarterback for the Thunderbirds. He's going to take the snap. He's going to pitch it outside to Pearson. And he's going to cut it up.
Braxton Sprouse with a nice job getting out there to bring down
Pearson. And that's TFL, man, tackle for a loss. That's always good.
Nice job by Sprouse getting up from his corner position.
And denying the outside there. And I do see that's something I'm looking at there. They got Strange came off on defense. I see out there because I see they're going with Pearson. It looks like Lewis over on
I think Lewis went out to the end position, and then Jaron Roll came in to fill Andrew's spot there in the middle of that defense.
And I didn't realize that Jaron wasn't playing defense that much because of the way that they rotate. But the strength of this crew is they do have that depth.
Yeah.
There. So here you go. That's going to be inside. And oh, my goodness, they caught him right there. Bryce Brown. He caught him before, almost caught the handoff.
Those of you watching at home, Bryce went right through the line, caught the running back that was going to get the ball, and then got on to Hargis, who is the quarterback who didn't get the ball handed off. So
forward progress gives him, forward progress wasn't, he lost a yard or two there, 3 yards it looks like. So Bryce Brown, we speak his name, he appears like Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, say his name 3 times, there he is.
So we've got that as there's going to be a punt coming out here with 1:55 left and the clock rolling here.
Senators with no one back.
And wow, there was almost another one there. That's going to take
a nice punt there by the Thunderbirds.
And that's going to take the ball down to about the 20. Looks like the 26-yard line. We're going to stay here because it'll probably go pretty quick. As 1:35 left, I think the Senators are probably going to be trying to go 3 yards in a cloud of dust here. But let's see who's going to be up. So I don't know if they'll actually get a snap off 124.
Yeah, I think they'll get a couple off probably.
Yeah.
A regional score, Milan leading Edinburgh 55-0 at the half.
Wow. That's Milan's, that's how that game goes. Yeah. Coach Burks, happy birthday. As he goes past us, he's going to head down to the sidelines there. As you hear him walk down. It's his birthday today. It's 58 seconds left. And I believe that the Senators took a knee there. They did.
Senators take a knee.
And I believe they're going to take that to halftime. So I don't think let's see when they're going to wind that. Well, the play clock is the question. We'll see the official. If he's smart, he glanced back and saw there's 45, and he's not going to wind it till there's there. So, and it does not appear that we'll have a penalty there. So we are going to be heading to halftime.
Heading to halftime with that score of 58-0. During the halftime, we are going to first jump away to commercial and then have Commissioner's Corner, and then we'll come back to just some live music for those of you that are at home listening and watching. So don't fret. We will be back for the second half here in just a moment.
In 2015, we launched the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. This is phase 2 of the Happily Ever After project. With the assistance of several local donors and sponsors, along with 5 years of fundraising by the Washington County Youth Foundation, we finally had enough resources to launch the service. The Dolly Parton Imagination Library is a free service that mails age-appropriate books to all required Washington County children under the age of 5. Although the faces of the leadership of the Washington County Community Foundation have changed over time, as is always the case with any healthy, thriving organization, the core values and mission remain the same. We continue to work diligently to assist our donors in creating a legacy that is meaningful to them. All of our success is directly related to the generosity of the sons and daughters of Washington County. We will continue to help our donors give back to our community through our foundation and improve the quality of life in our county.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome back, everybody, to our weekly conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. And Paul, thank you so much for taking time to be with us at this particularly interesting time for student athletes and parents and families around our state. We made it through week number 5 into week number 6 of the high school football season. We are already in tournament action, or we will be within the next week or 2 weeks on our fall court. Is that right?
That's exactly right, Bob. And I was kind of going over where we're at earlier today. And, you know, we just finished our girls golf sectional. And we've got on the this weekend coming up, we've got the regional. And 1 week after that, we're going to celebrate our first state championship of the year. Wow. And so it's coming quickly. And, you know, we got unified flag football that just had their pairing show, and those kids are ready to go, and they start their tournament on the 3rd of October, and everything else follows. We're ready to go. And, you know, who thought we'd be here?
That's a great question. I don't think a whole lot of us gave it much of a chance, but you literally from now there is some type of competition, sectional, regional, semi-state championship these next few weeks. Is there not? There's something going on for the next, I don't know how many weeks, literally on your fall schedule.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid schedule for us now, tournament action-wise, all the way up until November 27 and 28, when we're going to play a little football in Lucas Oil Stadium. But, you know, we go, and you better hang on because we got a lot of excitement coming your way.
We absolutely do. All right, week number 6, high school football. The last 2 weeks we've talked, you've been over 90% in games that have been played. Were you in that same category this past weekend?
We're running right at that number. We were at 95% again this past week. And, you know, I think I really hope that those numbers continue to tick upward a little bit to where when we get to a point where we're starting our football tournament, we have every team available to play, ready to play. And that's my goal. That's what I hope for. And, you know, we don't want anybody sitting on the sideline because of quarantine or positive COVID cases. And that's why it's so important to take the protocols now so we can be there when tournament time comes.
You've been fortunate that there have been some positive cases. They've been relatively few, and member schools have done a great job of handling that on their own. Clearly, there have been some schools who have had to miss a week of competition or so, but you have to applaud the efforts that all of them are going through to take this situation seriously and be where they are.
That's absolutely right, Bob. And one thing I told the meeting that I was on this morning is, you know, it's a time-honored tradition to put your school's name across your chest and put that uniform on and go play. And I know it's not easy right now. Our schools are working their tails off to make sure that we're still doing that. But we all had a chance to play back in our time many years ago, and it's so important to give these kids that opportunity that we had, even though it's more difficult, even though the parameters are different. But I'm so appreciative of the work that our schools are doing to allow these kids to play.
He is the commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig, our weekly conversation about all things IHSAA related. We're going to have the pairing show for football coming up on October the 8th from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock. Fans, get out, support your student athletes in your community. They're out there working hard, trying to do the best that they can and try to have some fun. Paul, as always, it's great to talk to you. Continued success to you and the staff, the member institutions around our state, and I appreciate what all you guys do for high school sports in our state.
We thank you very much for that. And, Bob, as always, we thank you for your help in keeping the light on for these kids.
You're very welcome. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and Coach Bob Lovell. And thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
back to action here at North Central Farmersburg, where the Senators do lead.
It is
58 to nothing.
As we sit here, as we get some stuff reset on our technology, we appreciate everybody still hanging with us here as we get ready for this second half here. Due to the score, we will have a running clock during this.
That is correct. It will be a running clock all second
and you know
half.
what? Second half we stand.
Yeah,
so.
second half we stand. It's a tradition. So
mostly because our backs hurt, and so it's actually a great view when you do. Jake Strange is going to be kicking off. See if he keeps his legs as we most of the special team stays the same. That is an end-over-end kick. That's going to be back to Pierce, who has just been battered. Now, the kick keeps coming, though. And he is going to be strung up right there on the backside.
Pearson on the return there. Nice job. In comes young Tankersley to pick up the tee.
Jant Tankersley and Isaiah, and let's see, we got little Russell over there.
Yep.
Little Russ.
Holden was telling me today that he needed to leave early because the bus was leaving at 2:30, so he needed to be down at the locker room at 2 o'clock. I said, well, good deal, because we're going to be down there anyway because we're doing our egg drop. So
there you go.
You're going to be the closest kid to the locker room.
Good for him. He thought he was getting out of school early, and he misses on one of the funnest days.
Yeah, well, he got to see his. We were done at about 2:15, so he got to see most of it.
Well, good for him. As the T-Birds are going to be sitting here, still trying to figure out if they can get through that middle. Is Van Cleve in there? I see is he put him in on the defensive line. Hunter Thompson, first time we've seen him out there.
First time we've seen him tonight.
You know, and I see Brennan Emery. So definitely some younger guys right there. As we look at Ken Chase in the backfield, and then I believe number 5 Jackson Cameron there.
Correct.
So the young freshman back there getting to play here.
And like we said, this is a running clock in the second half. The only time it stops is on a score.
Bradley Hampton. I call him the lawnmower man because he mows my lawn. So
does he?
Yes, him and Addie Peralta there, and I think Addie's still hurt, possibly. I don't know if he's in costume tonight there. Oh man, that ball just goes down, and it might have been Holloway with a great hit there, strips the quarterback, and then it just falls right back to him.
And like we said, Holloway, one of those kids who would be seeing a lot of varsity time if he wasn't behind those 12 seniors.
And that's what you look at, 72, and people are like, oh my gosh, they just, that's the West Washington way. We somehow just always produce these big behemoths that are strong, and I mean that goes back to Coach Nance and Coach Dwayne Nance and Gibby and all of them getting those players out in the
weight room and in advanced PE. I know I went down and was talking to Coach Ingram, and he had the girls for advanced PE and was working them pretty tough. So
we got Van Cleef at nose tackle there coming through, number 20, and man, he's gonna get. Oh, he slid.
He was there and it slid out. So. The back is brought down for another, looks like another loss. Going to be 4th and about 20.
Wow, and so we're going to see a punt here. So that was all over the place there for a lot of young players. That's a good when your young guys are in and they're driving the ball back like this. That's a good sign. And I know that North Central is trying to put in some guys too, but they're also trying to get some points on the board here.
Yeah, Kenton Chase back to return this one. That punt is going to hit.
I hope he doesn't touch it. He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't. He gets away from it.
There's nothing there. Is number 13 for the Thunderbirds there. Cameron Stewart is going to down it.
So, like we said, clock continues to run. We're going to see number 7.
That's right, Clark Nance coming in at quarterback there. So Clark the Shark over there, Clark Nance in at quarterback for the Senators, and he's going to be having a backfield there. He's got Brennan Emery, who just recently switched to running back there, scored two touchdowns in the JV game. So number 3, go ahead and circle him. He's probably going to be getting the ball here along with Roberts. So it's going to be a handoff to Roberts, and he's got daylight too. And he's going to be pulled down. Great job there by Braxton Sprouse leading the way. And Braxton looks like he got hyperextended a little bit. He's going to stretch out. That's when you go awkward. When you get in those awkward blocks, when you're blocking, you're not anticipating getting hit.
Right. This brings up a 2nd and 1.
And it is 58-0, 7:46, 56 left here in the third quarter.
Salem up 22-20 in the fourth, thanks to Claude Combs for sending that to me.
Thank you. And 42-0, North Harrison over Eastern. That's a final. And here's Roberts to the left
going
side.
the other way.
And he's going to turn. If he gets to the outside, he's got that sneaky speed, and he's still trucking. And he's still going, and he's going to be pulled out about the 28-yard line there.
Clock going to continue to run.
And we talked about, North Davies 50, 0, Linton 50.
Linton 50. Linton last week had a game that, unlike them, they dropped that game last week, and then looking for some blood this week.
No love lost up here at North Central, though. I think that I'm looking at their trash can. It actually says Linton on it up here, so that's what they their love of Linton. And I think I saw it on the urinals in the bathroom. We were down there, so they've got that going for them. So the Miners are not loved up here. Here's the quick snap, and that's going to be to Emery this time. And Emery's going to cut. He's going to
lower his shoulder, cut.
And oh man, I tell you, that's just one play. That's somebody who's new running the ball, knows not to go down. He's twisting, and we know.
Roddy Stevens, is it Stevens?
Pearson.
Or Pearson.
Yeah.
Pearson does a nice job of bringing Brennan Emery down there.
And he's been trucking, like we said. There's been some kids that have just been all over the place here for North Central and trying their best, and driving the ball down here. It looks like, okay, we got all kinds of guys. I'm looking, trying to.
Ian Rosenbaum going to come in at tight end and move to the other side. Glenn Rankin still on this side.
That's in over there. Okay, I thought that was 10, but it was 19. Okay, I'm getting blurred by it. So that's going to be a quick pitch to that's Hunter Thompson on it, and he's not going to get anywhere.
Hunter Thompson looking for a cutback lane there, but there's nothing there.
Hunter, not S. Thompson, not Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He was down quicker than Garfield, the Tell Two Kitties, which also starred Bill Murray. So,
Mills, you always have the.
There's another movie that Bill Murray was in where he played Hunter S. Thompson, and I don't know the name of it. But Johnny Depp.
You will next week, I'm sure.
I will know my little little bits of information here help out. So Nan's got to figure out who he's going to give it to here as he goes to the T backfield. Third down, he's going to get
good choice. Going to give it to Ethan Roberts.
And, we're going to have a hold.
We're going to
have
a hold.
It looks like Holloway right there.
He's going to get into the end zone, but it's going to be a hold. That one coming back.
It's either Rosenbaum or somebody. I can't tell who it was. Somebody, probably 2 or 3 holds.
Yeah.
To have a hold that big.
Well, and it's high school football, so there's a hold on every play.
Yeah, it's just when you get a lot of the younger players in, you see the game slows down. It's even easier.
Yeah.
And honestly, I expect that with us being up 58-0, I know that it's definitely probably going to be called there. So we'll see if the Senators actually get a playoff, because this is going to be 4. Actually, sorry, I thought it was 158. It's 450.
It goes fast.
It goes fast,
Mills, but it doesn't go that fast.
Well, I'm talking to the clock workers up here. They're going to try to work out something with us. We all got to get home and get something to eat. So we're going to work with them here so we can all. These guys have been working. And let's talk about that great hospitality we've had up here. It's been great.
Oh,
great people helping us.
It's always great. Every place we go, every place is welcoming, is nice. When we got here, we were shown right where to go. Just as good as could be. So
and Clark's going to chuck it up. And he's got a guy. Oh man! And Hunter had to come in and kind of be a defender.
Come in and come back for that.
And he knew, and I like that for Clark. Clark getting a chance to throw the ball. He was my first quarterback I ever got to coach here at West Washington.
So now here's the question: do we line Ian up to kick one from here?
Well, the people in the booth want to see where the Buffalo Roam was the name of the movie. Thank you.
There you go.
Bill Murray starred as Hunter S. Thompson there. So we had that. So here's
going to be 4th down. Clark going to get the snap here. 2 backs in the backfield.
I wonder if we're going to see another throw. We are. He's going to go, and look over the middle. It's going to be a quick pass, and Rankin
with the catch. I don't know that he's
short,
got
though.
enough.
He's going to be short, and that's going to be a turnover on downs.
Nope, they're going to move the chains.
Oh, they are? Wow. I guess I did not see the spot there. Yard of line to gain was, yep. Wow, by the hair on Glenn Rankin's chinny chin.
There you go. Those are pretty long.
Yes, you might as well call him the Goat Man, because he's got more facial hair at the age of 18 than I've had here at age 38. So let's see what happens here. I'm willing to bet Emery's going to get a nice little carry here on the end. He does. He's got a great trap block there. But, man, just as quickly as it opened, it comes
There's
close.
4 Thunderbirds there to meet him. does a nice job of bouncing off the first one, but not going to get through 4.
And that's where, we talked about, you're learning to run the ball.
Yeah.
You might be able to get a couple more yards in a JV game out of that, not in a varsity game. These are varsity athletes. Even though these are a lot of young guys out here, they went through the ringer this year, and they're working hard.
They've played, the teams. They know what it's like. And
they've got that experience. I mean, that's what you got to look at. If you're North Central, you're trying to find something, like we said, to kind of build off of. There's some things right now is when you kind of look at it, because we're looking at a lot of players that are going to be for us next year. Here's Roberts.
Roberts finds a hole, lowers his shoulder,
and he's going to be
churning
close.
legs, gets close.
That's in that really wacky angle we have here, but I will say, how awesome is to have these windows open.
Oh, I love it.
So how about we talk to D. Russ about that?
Well, there was some talk about replacing the windows in our press box.
Yeah.
If we get a say, I like these.
I like these too.
We go to a lot of press boxes, and this one, has windows on the front that open up, allow us to film from inside the press box with a window open. Very nice.
All right, so we're going to have the T backfield there of Roberts and Emery, 147 left. And it's going to be a pass real quick over the middle, and it's in there. That's going to be Braxton Sprouse with a touchdown catch from Clark Nance. Clark gets his first varsity touchdown.
Nice job by Clark and Braxton. I believe that's Braxton's first touchdown.
On varsity, so good for them. And great ball.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's where you look at, you get young guys in, they make you go over the middle. That's some guts you have there. So Rosenbaum
in to kick again. I don't know what the record is for most extra points.
So we're not. He's probably kicked more than his dad. We'll probably know that. So here's the kick. It is up, and it is good.
Got it through though.
That thing looked like Hunter S. Thompson driving to Las Vegas there.
It was wobbly, but he got it through, so it still counts.
It counts, and it's good enough. So. Here we go. So we're going to stay with it a little bit here because we've got a lot going on. We're
down to 50 seconds to go. Clock continuing to run here. So we'll start probably the fourth quarter with a kickoff by West Washington.
So let's talk about some scores of importance tonight. The Reds and Twins are 0-0.
Well, the Reds have already clinched, haven't they?
No, no. Thanks a lot. Thanks. As I'm surrounded by Cubs fans up here.
I was just helping out. I thought that was going to be good.
Thanks for the jinx. There. Phillies and Rays 4-4. Pirates and Indians. Pirates leading 2-1, and nobody cares. So there. And we can all agree that we hate St. Louis up here in the booth. You're good with that. We've got the North Central announcer and staff that we all hate St. Louis. That's good. So, and Atlanta. Okay, we're throwing the Braves under the bus now. If EJ Francis, for whatever reason, if you're not at Alpharetta High School right now watching this, home of Josh Dobbs, quarterback and I don't even know if Josh is actually a quarterback anymore in the pros. My friend EJ Francis was his baseball coach, and he said Josh is like all district in baseball, but he's going to go play at Tennessee and be their quarterback. And he's also like an engineer, like unbelievable. Like he's like a rocket scientist, and he played in the NFL. So that's a pretty good pedigree there.
So he can literally wear the shirt that says "I am a rocket
scientist." Yes. And, that's what's funny because my two connections to anybody who's ever played in the NFL, the other one would be Ben Broniker from Forest Park. He was he went to Harvard or Yale and played, and, he was unbelievable in high school, but then he played for the Bears, and then he's like, I'm just going to go be a medical scientist. So you got to be smart, I guess, to be able to make it in the NFL there. And that's going to be a great kick here, and that's going to be fielded by
two?
Yeah, two there. And that is Swalls. As we sit there, he's running. We've talked about him running hard. He does remind me of that Ferris guy, Nathan Ferris, right? We said it was before my time there. Ferris, who just run the ball, and he's just not found daylight. So let's see what happens here, Craig.
Salem 29-20, 7:30 to go in the fourth.
So they're trying to put, and that's at Corden. So
correct.
That is a good road win there if they can pull that off, because the Mid-Southern is one of the most bonkers conferences I've still trying to figure out. So we got all kinds of changes here. Okay, now they've got them set down. They're going to go with the two backs in the backfield, and it's going to be a handoff to number two. Yep, and there's Swalls. Jeremiah has kept those feet churning. He's got some good yards there.
Good job there to gain about 7.
And Jeremiah's only a junior. Looking at his stats here, so he's somebody that could really, if you find a lot about yourself in this time. Next year it'll be his team. Right now it could be his team for all we know. He's one of the older guys out there, and you can lead no matter what your grade is. That is something with high school sports I think that has changed. We see in the NFL where rookies can lead. So just
Cameron Van Cleve we see check in for the Senator line there.
Yeah, he's in there at right tackle, I believe, his defensive tackle. He's going to get right there is Pierce. He's going to be pulled down by Holloway, guy we called. But
Holloway brings down Pearson by his shoe and then hands his shoe back to him at the end of it.
And that tackle was brought to you by Nike. Just do it. So definitely a play there right off the bat that you see if you can get anything. We talk to kids, when you're making a tackle, you can get anything on them.
Yep. Get a hold of anything other than a face mask.
Yeah. And that's where we were talking about wrestling a lot when we were off the air. That's what I really think is going to help West Washington out in the future is having those kids with those skills, because you learn to use your hands in so many other ways, and it's only going to help our linemen out more and more. So
I saw an article, I believe it was last week, that the last NFL draft of the first 12 taken, 7 of them were high school wrestlers.
Gavin Ball, a name I haven't got to call yet. Giving him a good props there right on that play. Gavin, another kid who could probably play a big role. He's going to be a junior next year, I believe. Yeah. So, the dual sport athlete, and I wish we could get people. And I think maybe football's the one that we see kids play multiple sports in, because it's in the fall and you got that whole year, and they know if they're not football, if they're not playing another sport, they're going to be in the weight room.
Yeah.
So kids find another way to play another sport typically.
And that's the thing with this group of seniors. Most of them, go on and play another sport, whether it's basketball or baseball.
That's going to be a keep on the end around. He's got some room, and he's going to be rolling and rolling and rolling. And he
does a nice job.
Great run there by quarterback Nathan Trench. He went through about the C gap and then cut back in around to where the B gap is and just kind of rode some guys.
Caden Van Cleve did a nice job of getting upfield from his lineman's spot, gets into the backfield, and then is unable to bring Trench down, but he does get upfield to help on the assist there.
So we see this as something that you expect. So hopefully you bend and don't break. You always want to play your best. So these young guys out here trying to get as much as they can involved. As the starters have only been out for kicking duties in this half, so maybe that's why they tried to get as many points on the board to start off with. All right, here's going to be a quick handoff up the middle. And, whoa, what a German suplex there. Hampton on it, but then I think that's Holloway there possibly.
Yeah, Holloway stood him up, and then Hampton was there to clean it up.
Much like somebody trying to steal something from your guard in there, Holloway just grabs you and pulls you back. I watched I've been missing live music, how we don't have concerts, and I got stuck in a U2 rabbit hole of all things, people busting through gates to go to concerts in a Lollapalooza. 85 people grabbing. There's this one guy who can't make it up, and they grab him by his hoodie and pull him down, and they were so happy they caught the one guy, but another 500 are over the fence. So here's going to be a quick snap motion over there. That's a quick pitch, and, man, he's got some room to run, and he's going to be busting it out there. That's number 22 for Eli Dodge, a freshman, true freshman, 175, 5'9".
Third down and 4 here for the T-Birds.
First time his name's been called all night, but, man, I tell you what, he had a little bit of speed.
Yep.
And maybe they've been waiting. He's probably one of those kids that'd be mostly a Monday type guy that's, unfortunately they're giving him a shot here. So
we see West Washington switch out. I believe Roberts comes out.
Yeah. So we look right here. There's some couple kids. I see a couple kids over here already iced up for North Central, which is what they don't need after what they talked about. And there's going to be a pitch outside to Pearson. He's going to go. Oh,
Ball's
man.
On the ground.
The ball is on the ground, but who came up with it there?
I believe he's going to recover that.
Wow. And that's right there, Gavin Ball on top of that, along with, I believe that's Van Cleve. They're also on that one.
Going to be just short, bring up 4th and 1.
Cameron Van Cleve.
T-Bird's going to go for this.
Yeah, you're playing with the house's money. You're going to roll the dice here and hopefully not draw snake eyes Actually, they would take Snake Eyes because they only need 1 yard.
Yep,
so.
only need 1 yard. That would be 2.
So
I'll take that.
As long as both dice hit the table.
Yep.
I have rolled craps and watched somebody throw it off the table, and it was very awkward. All right, so here's going to be Trench is going to take it. He's going to get the inside handoff to Swallows, and he's going to get
the first down.
He's going to ride before we finally get a whistle there, and kind of surprised they let it go that long.
Yeah, let it go that long. But
Hampton kind of pops up, though, and sportsmanship, and that's in this situation, you hope the younger kids don't get to the point where they forget about the situation, and they're not as hyped up as probably the varsity guys are. And we've got 5:22 left here in the fourth quarter. Clock is running. It's 65-0. West Washington over North Central here in Farmersburg, Indiana. And we did make it here today.
Now we've got to do the opposite and head home.
I'm gonna have to find some good coffee on the way home. I don't know about you, my friend. I've got to get gas and coffee. So
well, there you go. There's a gas station. I drove by it just as I turned off of the.
Oh, that ball is on the ground. Looks like it's recovered.
There's a gas station just off the turnoff on 41. So 2 miles down the road, there's a gas station and coffee. I'm sure of it.
There you go. We're getting confirmation. Much like, I will say, though, and this is what is crazy. This is like this area in the school here at North Central is so like carbon copy of West Washington. It really is. Like to where you're close and stuff. And that's kind of a fun thing to you think about. Like there's a lot of schools like this. And it's a strong community. And I don't know how many.
They have a really strong following of their football, too. I remember 2 years ago when they came, they packed those visitor stands.
And I will say, we've had a lot of fans, and they were the most respectful fans.
Sweep out the other way.
Yeah, sweep out the other way. Dodge is not going to get that. I had the unfortunate duty of having to Mrs. Knapp, of course, gets to hand over the trophy. And when you give away a sectional trophy, it sucks when it's not going to your team. But I had to release the other fans, and they were all very cordial. I said, "Hey, I'm gonna let you guys. I got to do this and this," and everybody was very kind. I mean, and that they'd never been there before, and that's something you go through, and that's all right. That wasn't our year, and we kind of learned from that. And I think that was some of the postseason run we had last year was from the things that we learned through your defeats.
Going to bring up third and about 12,
and we are 3:23 left here in the game. As you can hear the crickets start to fire up here, and that's going to
be a broken play. He's going to be dropped right around the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1.
Yeah, and I'm seeing 22 there. Eli Dodge kind of just he was grabbing his elbow and his knee there for a second, and now he's shaking his wrist. So I think he was the guy who was supposed to get that play. You look at him; he's been over now. So I don't know if he was supposed to get that.
He may have. A lot of times, you can catch a helmet to the elbow and make that whole hand go numb.
Yeah. So he's like, please don't let me get the ball on this play.
So we're now under 3 minutes to go.
We appreciate it. Some of our fans who are going to watch this later can see themselves on TV.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So we go home next week for Perry Central.
Perry Central at home, a big PLAC matchup there.
And this is going to be a pass, and it's going to be a sidearm throw, but it's going to be up and just off there. You look at
going to be a turnover on downs for the Senators.
And so Trench went to throw, and I don't know if he ever had the ball, and he, instead of going like a 3/4 like Rich Gannon, he got low, and maybe it's because the angle he did, but you're that little, and you're young, when you're a 6 foot 160 freshman, you got that. So we've got 158 here, so we're probably going to see a running play or two before the end of the game here.
I would say we're going to see 2 runs here.
And then probably take a knee all the way back to Campbellsburg.
Jump on the bus and head home.
I wonder what that's going to be. I know these guys are getting a hurry and get out of here, but you got to still kind of take your time to.
Roberts with the ball around the other side. He's got room to run.
Oh, it looks going to be a hold right there, and there is it. It's going to be all the way back here.
It's all.
So, yeah, you look right back here.
Roberts does a nice job of breaking that one, but we're going to get a hold coming back.
Yeah, he was sprung by hole and
all the way back to where the camera is pointing.
Yeah,
so
I couldn't tell the number. It was a defensive back who just got beat.
Well, and by the time we get that one back here and set, we're probably going to be one play to go.
Yeah, if you can, yeah. So it may be a knee, and I hate that for Ethan because Ethan had a good run.
Yeah, Ethan had a good run there.
And the play was, but when I can clearly see it, it's bad. So we'll see here.
So we're under a minute. We're at 50 seconds.
And we may not get as Roberts finally gets back there after scampering.
A long run back for Roberts.
Well, when you run 60-plus yards there, 70, that's 70, my math's horrible, 72 yards. As we're looking as Coach Dwayne Nance over there giving the signs, and I see an O. He's giving the offense all of it. I see he was that, or he was doing the YMCA over there. And it is going to be, that's Ian Rosenbaum at quarterback. He's going to keep.
Oh, fumble.
And
Senators recover that one.
That one, Danny Scott there with a fumble recovery there, and that's going to be the end of the game.
Yeah.
And so it is 65-0 will be our final score tonight. West Washington all over North Central. We would like to thank all of our great sponsors as we go through here tonight.